Welcome. Title of this presentation is Western culture becoming depraved? Dying? Is Western culture dying? This is by myself, Yusuf Mohammed, in the class of Psychology 100. Okay, let's start. Let me click this. Okay, there we go. Quick overview of my topic. Western culture is dying. What are the signs? The ever more reliance on verbal depravity, visual depravity, consumerist depravity, and ultimately godless depravity. So, what does this ultimately add up to? Societal depravity. That is not a society. This is not a society. Um, we don't, none of us want to be in a society where um, there is a buildup of societal depravity, no matter where in the world we are. And I'm going to analyze all of this through a psychological perspective. Let's get on to the next one. Key concepts as it relates to my topic. I am covering psychology from the lens of societal depravity as it relates to the corruption of one's mind, whether that be visually, materialistically, sensorially, or other. Sincerely or other. In society today, especially in our culture, Western culture, we have access to anything. We could possibly want any food, any drink, any clothes. So the possibilities are endless to the extent that you could have anything you could ever want. And point being, if we have too much, it can actually end up backfiring and end up in the downgradement of our character as a whole society. So, how much, if we lessened our reliance on all these materialistic, visual, sensory matters, how much of a better society would we be? So, here are three concepts I have, three terms, psychological terms I have right here: hedonic adaptation, the Baumeister meaning crisis research, and C, affective forecasting errors. Let's go on to the next slide. The hedonic adaptation. This is like when you get a new toy. At first, you're infatuated with this toy. You're playing with this toy all day. But then after some time, you get bored. How many times do we see this in society where you get a new car, or you get a new house, or you get a new this, or you get a new that, and you just want more, never satisfied. And there's ever more feeling, especially in the society, of not feeling satisfied. And so I really wanted to highlight that through the hedonic adaptation. Next one. The Baumeister meaning crisis. The Baumeister meaning crisis research. So this one is about people. I gave an example. People fill their lives with things that feel meaningful in a moment, like shopping, like a new trend, or some people, even an addiction. But it inevitably doesn't lead to any long-term change, any long-term purpose, any long-term upliftment. Let's go to the third one. Effective forecasting errors. Effective forecasting errors. This is like when you really want that so-called thing. Every day, you tell yourself, when I have enough money to get that thing, I will be that happy. When you end up getting it, it doesn't really live up to the feeling you had of thinking you've had. I think the feeling you thought you would have. And actually, you end up feeling worse than before. So here's my research study guide. presence and impact of having healthy shame. Study summary. Individuals who view healthy shame as a kind of virtue, like having integrity when no one else is looking, you feel shameful of doing something not only because people would know about it, but because you innately would be bothered by it. So my independent variable, presence of healthy shame. Healthy shame, as referred to in Arabic, yeah, is an Islamic term that has a deeper meaning that can be delved into. But for the sake of time, I will just mention that surface information. When a collective group of people all carry an essence of healthy shame, the society tends to be more trusting and more safe. Individuals who view healthy shame as a kind of virtue, like having integrity when no one's looking, you feel shameful of doing something, not because people know about it, but because you know what's right and what's wrong. Okay, number two, dependent variable. Societal moral health. Moral decay measured via through the erosion of social trust and emotional dysregulation. Here are the results. Society developing non-healthy, shameless traits, normalizing nude imagery, vulgar language, hypersexualized society, too much into materialistic aspects of life instead of doing the rewarding things, like being kind, nice, on a consistent basis as a collective society. So the solution, healthy shame, acting as a psychological immune system against everything and being content in one's situation. Okay, next slide. Appreciation for the field of psychology. This project helped me seep into the wonders of a collective society and how it morally evolves while looking at this from the psychological lens. It increased me in my fervor and interest in how blessed we are as human beings, so sophisticated, not only in our anatomies, but also in our behavior. And it really is a science. Just our behavior is a science. And that science, of course, is known as psychology, an entire field of study of human behavior, the reasonings behind why we act the way we act in such and such scenarios. And I really wanted to delve into that, not just on an individual level, but on a collective, societal level. Thank you. Thank you. That's my presentation. Thank you.